Even though I lived in America for most of my life, Canada has always played some kind of role in it. From watching Theodore Tugboat growing up to having a cringy Trailer Park Boys phase during high school, and my partner's favorite band being Mariner's Trench, no matter how hard I try to get away from it, this pathetic excuse of a country keeps poking its big, dumb, ugly nose into my life. I was going through this subreddit called Shitty Kickstarters about a month or so ago, and I came across this game called Ottawa Life. Nothing fancy, it's just your typical modern RPG game similar to Raw, Identity, or Civil Contract RPG. It was one of those games people make just to fulfill some Gmod or GTA or Arma role-playing nostalgia, which is weird because, they have no reason to split off from whatever games they originally were having an RP thing for. But that's another topic. But most of all these games, Raw and Civil Contract, turn out to be scams, and there's no doubt when I say this that this is also a scam. Yep, but let's go back to when I was young, about a few months ago. I check out the Kickstarter, and the first thing that grabs my attention is the logo. It looked pretty retro, almost like the Boards of Canada logo. I get reading it and I join the Discord. It's pretty uneventful. There's only like 12 or so people there and only half of them are active. That's a pretty good ideas though on the Kickstarter. I would have loved to have seen a realistically 2-to-1 scale down Ottawa, or just any kind of video game action in a boring part of the world as opposed to somewhere more interesting like say New York or Los Angeles. I joined the Discord and it's the typical yo what's up etc affair. I point out how weird it is that there's no gameplay pictures or videos on the Kickstarter page, and I offer to make some building models for him since I went to school for architecture and I've been modeling buildings for quite some time. He says, nah, the map's 85% done, and when I bring up the fact I found on a shitty Kickstarter Reddit, he says it's pathetic they're posting his links on their site and promises to add some gameplay stuff into the Kickstarter page when he's back at his PC. I say, alright, go for it. And then I leave to go to my amazing job of delivering pizzas. And when I checked the Kickstarter after work, it was cancelled. Can't be a coincidence, right? I pointed out on the shitty Kickstarter Reddit that he cancelled it, and I go through the comments this time instead of just scanning over them, and someone noticed that this was his third go at making the same game. I dig deeper into it and I check out his Kickstarter profile, and they were right. This is his third time in 2019 trying to pitch the same game idea. He always canceled the projects early though, never gaining more than $300 of the almost 20,000 gold the first two times and almost 10,000 gold the final time. What's interesting though is that his first attempt actually has gameplay. Let's look at some highlights.
The very, very basics. As I explain, the detail gets much finer and more in depth. It's actually usable. We have a bunch of apps. So you can actually look at your penal code, ticket lists. You can check out for bolo, up, down, tilt, just like real life. Okay, so let's say you own a business. I'll go down here. So you're right here. Alright, so let's say you own a business and you got this nice little shack, right? You got a box truck or a semi, whatever the case may be. And you get a contract like that civilians can get their hands on because of the F-16, right? So we always have a balance. And here's one of the drones that do have missiles on them, but we're not actually going to have missiles on it. Again, same thing with the other one. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me.
One of the comments on the shitty Kickstarter Reddit sums it up perfectly. Literally ends with him browsing the Unreal Asset Store and describing how each item was going to be used in the game. I mean, his defense, he does show off a gas station, but I don't know if any of that is done from scratch or if it's all yanked off of the asset store. But back to Discord, I asked him when he's going to get back to his PC to post some gameplay, and he keeps giving me the same, I'm moving, wah 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 excuse. Alright, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, whatever. Weeks pass and still nothing. This dude named Brian tells me it's not a scam, but also tells me to just stick around. I mean, I've been sticking around for a month now, and I'm impatient, and when I'm impatient, I get chaotic. I hit up one of the other guys in the server, a fellow who did some work for him back in the GTA 5 RP days, and asked him if there were any other ways to get a hold of him. And I found out a lot of information about him. His name is Matt, and he gave me his email, and I was able to look up his Facebook literally by putting in his first name on the Kickstarter. and the last name of his Discord username, and I dropped him a line asking if he's gonna come back to Discord to get back to the project. While we wait for Matt to reply, let's talk a little bit about him. He lives in Ottawa. He used to have a GTA 5 RP server that the guy I just mentioned before he used to do car skins for, and Matt refused to pay him. That's pretty shitty, but you know what else is shitty? Him bugging the shit out of the car skin guy's boss asking to buy a server off him. And then he says he spent 100 grand on a fucking game that doesn't even have 100 grand quality. All these rubbish excuses for not paying the car skin guy. And worst of all, his Steam profile shows he got a VAC ban for aimbotting in CSGO. And from what I found out from other people who know him personally, he can somehow pay for a big brand new truck, but can't pay his own debts, and just a lot of other sketchy personal things I can't disclose. Needless to say, this guy is bad news. Either he's delusional enough to think that this game will pay off all of his debts, or he just wants to scam more people beyond people he knows personally out of their money. But back to Facebook. Matt and I have correspondence over Facebook about where he's been the past month, and he gives me the same "I'm at work, wow story, and tells me to stop asking if it's a scam because according to him it's not. He says he's talking to developers on Zoom, but like, is it too much to literally ask him, yo, do you got any new gameplay to show off in your Discord? Then he asks me to add his new Discord account because apparently he lost a login to the other one. Allegedly, he's cleaning or something that I just stopped believing him at this point. And then the shit goes down. Matt finally gets back to his own server on the alternate account because he lost the login to the main one, and the car skin guy makes a good point that he shouldn't be buying new phones when he hasn't been paid yet. Matt gets pissy, and what do you know? He leaves his own server when he finds out he can't yank the car guy out of there. But not without saying that the project's cancelled. Holy shit, I think. Is he done scamming people? I messaged him on Facebook asking him, but he blocked messages for me. I shot him an email and he's saying that he'll continue it on his own terms. I should message a guy named Demon Z to confirm it's not a scam. I drop him a line and he sends me this, which makes me even more convinced that it is a scam. Honestly, I doubt I'll hear from this guy again. And this will probably be the first time y'all are hearing about him, but if you see anything pertaining to a Second Life-esque game set in Canada's capital, run the other way and keep your wallet sealed up tight. And Matt, if you're watching this, have some integrity, you dork.